Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Matco Tool Supra.
Comes back, he's gonna send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're gonna Joshua Banks is gonna win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to VSPEED and subscribe to them, because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Start your engines! And for the first time this season, the Saturday Night Racing League, presented by M&J Distributors, is underway at Daytona.
Sorry for the wait. Didn't think I'd come up, y'all just need a little faith. I've been patient, just waiting.
It's killing this line because McWhorter can't complete the pass, and he's sideways off the corner, and he held on to it. Oh, Shadow gets turned into turn number 3. McWhorter, Klinger, all in the outside wall. Caution is out. We're going to get a late race restart. Joshua Banks coming out of turn number 4, win number 6 in Saturday Night Racing League. First of the season for the 35. He gets it done in Dover.
The new winner this season, the 09 of Chad Klinger, off of turn 4. He will be victorious tonight at Phoenix. But the 73 of Joseph McWhorter is going to be your Season 2 champion. Here he comes, off of turns 3 and 4. It sounds like he saved enough fuel. Seth Hatchell, with an excellent strategy, is going to win here tonight at Kentucky Speedway.
Banks takes him 3 wide down the backstretch for the lead. Look at this, 3 wide again. The top 3 still 3.
I've been on the grind, this is my prime. Let me turn it one time. I've been on the grind.
Pull those belts tight. You're watching Saturday Night Racing League, only on VSPEED.
Well, here we are, setting up for another week of racing. Live here tonight for race number 7 of the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. It's Talladega, presented by M&J Distributors. Hello, welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. And tonight, a little bit of money on the line, as we'll have 3 different awards possible here with the 29th lap by 29 Graphics. And I believe Alex Bell putting $50 up on there, as well as RSR Driver Cam. I think there's a total of $89 on the line here tonight. Connor Horn up in the booth with me. Connor, it's been an eventful season, but to say the least, Bailey Turner still has an excellent points lead coming into this week.
And he might still keep that point lead after tonight. It looks like he won't be here in attendance for this race tonight, but still had a pretty good race going at Canadian Tire until him and Chad Klinger had contact. It's really the first bump in the road that the 24 has faced all season. And even still, he came out of there with a 51-point lead over J.R. Shepard. We'll see if that it will get dwindled down with him not here tonight, but still likely he'll keep that points lead over Shepard, Kite, Hodges, Sturgill, those top 5 drivers. J.R. Shepard ahead of the rest of the pack, while 3rd through 10th only separated by 21 points from Donald Kite to Matt Shinosky at 10th. You still got those guys down the order. Jeff Wright's gotten the 13th, but he still has a ways to go. Brian Chandler he's up to the 20th position now, or he's moved back there, I should say. And AJ Stravado, our 3rd different winner this season on fuel mileage last week, up to 16th in points. He needed that one very badly in the points picture. Also, Carwile back there, Ray Massey back there, Villalobos, number of drivers back there still that can get up through the points. Also, Joseph McWhorter, who is here tonight. We thought he might not race anymore. He will race tonight at Talladega. If he runs the rest of the season, or majority of it, he really needs some good finishes to get up through there. But I will say this, 7th position in points. All eyes are on Adam Cabot. He's won the last 2 races here. He's looking for 3 in a row. But he doesn't have his wingman in Bailey Turner tonight, so it's going to be tougher.
Look at the track map. Of course, we've been to Talladega Superspeedway before in this car, in this series. But the 2.66 mile oval kind of opens up the doors for drivers that maybe don't perform well through the season to get a chance and get a win. It's pretty much anyone's game here as long as you can survive. The carnage that we talk about, the big wrecks that happen at this racetrack, they could very easily claim half the field in one go. So you have to be careful. A lot of drivers are probably going to play it cautious to start out the first half of this race. But this next generation stock car going to make it really easy to get to the front. So you'll have to control yourself. And the urges to run to the front here, Connor, we've seen it a lot. Race analysis on the screen, though. 94 laps here today. Pit road speed limit at 60 miles per hour. 3 green, white checkers possible. Tires probably not going to be a factor, but there are 4 sets available with 80% fuel. The 80% fuel, that's the part that we're looking at here. It might be a 2-stop race. Pretty much guaranteed, I think, a 2-stop race here, as we'll be going 2.66 miles. It's a pretty long distance at 190 miles per hour. But with that, let's get you trackside, get the grid up on your screen, starting on the pole here tonight with a 53.473. It's Chad Klinger in the 09. He'll start right next to Adam Cabot, a 4.75, 2 thousandths of a second in qualifying faster. Caleb Weekly and AJ Stravado will start side by side in the second row. Last week's winner, AJ Stravado, getting it done at Canadian Tire. And then row number 3 goes to Donnie Kite. Brian Hennings in the 74 will start in 6th. 7th goes to Michael Sturgill, and then Mike Sturgill in 8th position. So those two will probably be working together. Father-son combo. And then rounding out your top 10, Casey Lakatos and the number 6 of Josh Adams.
11th position goes to the 48 of Jeff Wright. I believe no super speedway wins for him in this series, if I remember correctly. Still looking for one at this track. Lucas Lyons will start alongside him in 12th. 13th position will go to Tyler Dohar in a 77, former E-Nascar NASCAR Heat driver, which I realized after looking at a Twitter clip. He used to run the Pro Series on Heat. He starts 13th tonight. Angelo Horonis, always a threat at these tracks, starts 14th position. 15th position, right behind the 77. You will have Ryan Carwile in the 15th position. He's always a threat. He's always fast. Bryce Shoemaker, same thing, starting in the 16th position. Just rounding out the top half of the field, these last 2 rows, row number 9, Brian Chandler, the Atlanta winner, looking for super speedway victories in the Bucky Chevrolet Camaro. Victories, he's looking for a 2nd of the season. Joseph Sullivan in the number 1 will start in the 18th position. And then rounding out that top half of the field that I was mentioning, 19th position, James Lehman in the 05, who showed great pace at Texas, but needs to get some finishes his way. Benjamin Richards starts 20th alongside him with near identical laps.
21st goes to Elliott Butler, Jordan Trass in 22nd, 23rd Rob Camp with Dakota Floyd in 24th. 25th, Eddie Trejo, Rob Denton will start in 26th. 27th is going to go to Brandon Wallace with Nick Hapiak in 28th. And your top 30, Keith Shoemaker, Joseph McWhorter in the number 73.
McWhorter has some work to do for sure. 31st position will be Max Cost. He needs a good run. Nick Wood, who's in the 5, even though he should be in the 32 visually, but he is in the 5. He starts 32nd. Logan Threlkeld back at the pack 33rd. Mark McFadden, who will take the 10 car, will be 34th. Stefan Davis 35th. Clark Anekin in the 84 Carvana machine 36th. Alec Martinez, he'll be a threat tonight, starting 37th. Kenny Kibbe, 38th. Then the last 3 starters, J.R. Shepard, second in the points, very back of the field with Matt Shinosky and Austin Belke. That's all 41 drivers starting tonight. We're in a Geico restart zone. We're going green, Bradley. Green flag's out.
By to lead lap number 1. It's the guy that started to the outside of Chad Klinger. He'll take over the top spot. AJ Stravado, last week's winner, giving him a push to keep that number 17 up towards the front. You've also got Brian Hennings, the first side-by-side in the 5th position. He has the 53 of Mike Sturgill behind him.
Oh, he got put to the top side by Josh Adams, though. Adams not wanting to work with him, so the Sturgill guys are going to get split up for seconds. It's going to be a much different race than we're used to seeing in the next gen. The cars don't suck up like they used to. It's very hard to get runs, and if you lose the pack, if you're at the back of the pack, you're likely going to lose the draft because you just don't suck up to the car in front of you as easily as you once used to. We already saw Matt Shinosky and Austin Belke already lose the lead draft. It's very easy to do.
Back here with Belke and Shinosky even further back. They might want to get nose to tail, start working together back towards this field, but at the same time, they might end up avoiding whatever goes wrong up here. We still got a lot of racing left to be done, over 90 laps to go, and a side-by-side for the lead here with Brian Hennings getting a push from the 6 of Adams.
Almost like the end of a Gen 6 there where you get a 2-car tandem and it can work, and Hennings is going to make the aggressive move to hang Josh Adams out and get to the lead, but I don't know how long that's going to last. You know Adam Cabot and AJ Stravado are going to work together a lot tonight, especially since Cabot doesn't have Bailey Turner to work with. But you can see them already kind of testing the waters with this 2-car tandem. You can see how much separation they get from the main pack by doing that. You gain so much speed doing so, but you're going to see everyone doing that at the end of a race, so it's not going to look quite as drastic.
Again, keep in mind, we do have, at lap 29, $29 going to the leader as they cross that line to complete lap 29. We also have our RSR Driver Cams with Caleb Weekly, Michael Sturgill, Rob Denton in there, and VSPEED's very own Logan Threlkeld in those as well. And I believe it's the highest finisher with the lowest. What a cutoff there. They're going to go 3 wide.
A little early for that, don't you think? Cabot saw the run coming to the outside. Hennings blocked it pretty darn late, but they were able to make it work. Josh Adams going to get the lead. He started all the way back in where he started back in 10th. He's already up to the front of the field, and now we have 2 lanes strong at the front. We're getting the blocking going early, aren't we? Immediately controlling the lanes.
That could go wrong in a lot of ways as long as you do it early enough. That was a little bit late there by Hennings, but a lot of these drivers heads up move there. The 6 of Adams, though, dove to the inside because of that block, didn't want to check up, got down in front, and luckily was clear of the 33 of Stravado. He'll lead the last time by.
It's much easier to do in real life than it is in iRacing because the runs are still a little bit bigger than they are in real life for the most part. Usually blocking does not work in these because one bad bump and you're going to wreck 20, 30 cars almost certainly. As Cabot, I don't think he wants to be behind Hennings, but really has no choice. No third lane. It's really hard to go 3x3 with massive pace here. And you're already seeing kind of a split in the pack. We're still one big pack, but you definitely have your drivers kind of laying at the back of the field while the top half of the field is just kind of riding 2x2, trying to push a little bit. So Threlkeld leading a second middle line at the very back over there.
Being back here at the 12 car, second group. Side by side, this is for the 27th position.
Whoa, Cabot went 3 wide for the lead. Sorry, Bradley. That was an aggressive move. He just caught Brian Hennings by surprise. He caught him sleeping. And now Hennings is going to go back to the back of the pack. Almost certainly. He's trying to side draft, but that took me by surprise. The Cabot played a very aggressive move. It killed that middle line. But watch this. You see Hennings, I don't think he's expecting Cabot to do that. He wants to keep separation from the bottom line just to, you know, not side draft and slow everyone down, but sees a huge gap, and I think you go for that every single time. That was too much not to take, but look at what it did to the outside lane.
Yeah, and Hennings is falling all the way back. They're 3 wide now outside the top 10. You got Jeff Wright down there and the bottom in 11th position. In the middle is Bryce Shoemaker in the 54. Hennings on the outside getting a push. I believe that's Trask on the outside giving the shove in the 79 Red Bull machine.
And what happened there, you had Hennings really heavily side drafting, I think, Donnie Kite, and that's what slowed up that second lane, and now it created kind of 2.5 lanes. You got some drivers testing the outside, but not quite working. It really split things up as Case Lacotis is going to drop to the rear. But it really separated the top 6 or 7 from that main pack, but it couldn't quite get away.
But Donnie Kite's starting to progress his way back up to where he started this race. He's got Brian Hennings giving him the push. He started up in 5th. He fell back to around the 11th position. Now back on offense in this second line. Cabot going to move up. They think better of it. Still a late block here. Cabot's going to break the momentum. 26 to the middle. They leave him out to dry.
I bet Brian Hennings feels good about doing that to Cabot, right back to him. Cabot's going to have to drop back a few positions, but smartly for him, he's not going to side draft. He's just going to wait for a gap in line and just get back to the middle of the racetrack, but definitely cost him some track position. Meanwhile, Josh Adams still leading Stravado, Klinger, Lucas Lyons in 4th on the bottom. Michael Sturgill's 5th on the bottom as Kite's leading that middle line. As you can see, there's still a ripple effect from the 17's move on the 74. He's still got guys at the back of the pack kind of scrambling to try to make sure they don't lose the lead draft.
So apologies if we are having some frame drops here tonight. For whatever reason, I cannot get the network to clear up here. So bear with us on the buffering. I'm trying my best. And these guys trying their best. Stravado, big checkup.
I think that was a big move there. Josh Adams went up to block Stravado as Stravado made that move. Very aggressive early on, but you know, lap 29, you got money on the line, nearly $30. So everyone's trying to stay at the front and stay in position for it. And that's part of the aggressive racing that we're seeing this early on. You might not see it otherwise.
Stravado trying to go back to back. He has Klinger on the back bumper. A little bit of a checkup here on the inside. And here comes Brian Hennings back to the top spot. He'll drop down in front of AJ Stravado. No, he'll stay high. Now he'll come down.
A little indecisive. You can't get too indecisive. You make one wrong move, like you said, you're going to wreck 20, 30 cars. Or at this rate, maybe only 20 because, you know, they're not that packed up right now. But very aggressive moves, very aggressive pushing. I'm shocked to see this much aggression with the bumpers this early. Look at this 2-3 car tandem. They're going to slam into the back of Josh Adams into turn number 3. And look what it did. The ripple effect from that one, too.
Yeah, and I believe that Stravado picked up a little bit of front-end damage from that.
I was about to say the same thing. The driver, you're pushing the driver. You have to know when they're going to hit the car in front of them. And he obviously didn't know. That's a lot of damage. That's really going to affect the aero on that 33. He'll be able to stay in the pack, but it's going to hurt him for sure. I'd be surprised. I don't think Hennings has rear end damage. You would think he would, but looks clean.
Trying to get a look off the front end. Yeah, it looks clean on the back of the 74.
The front end, on the other hand, of the 74 also got pretty big damage out of that. Right there, you can see where the front bumper clip is kind of separated from the hood. Right there, that's a perfect view. The same damage as Stravado with the splitter really off the ground.
And so what that does now is that basically puts Stravado and Hennings in a situation where they have to stay pushing. If they become a lead car, they're probably going to be a mile or two off on the top speed. And you'll see this inside line kind of fall apart. They're okay behind the 6 of Adams right now. But if he gets out there in his own air, it's probably going to hinder him.
And it's really going to hurt. I would think the oil temp is going to go through the roof a little more than normal for both those drivers. So they might not be able to push for as long as they would with a clean front bumper. That's something you'd have to look at as well, especially for Hennings, who's the main pusher of that bottom line. They're going to have to get a lot more help from Chad Klinger, the fourth car in line, to keep better pace, because that second line is keeping even with them no matter what they do, and they have the advantage for sure.
So again, lap 29, what we're aiming for here.
Oh, McWhorter blinked out. Where is he going to come back? Oh, there he is. And there goes Donnie Kite. They put Donnie Kite to the middle, Cabot, and the 71 of Carlisle.
'26 falling through this field as well. It's Donnie Kite falling back to 11th again for the second time. Meanwhile, Jordan Trask has found his way to the front, and the 71 of Carlisle got him up there.
That Red Bull surely has wings, no doubt. Now Adams has to push him clear from the rest of the field. Now you got Carlisle leading that second lane for the time being, and we did have more drivers lose that lead draft. Actually, a decent line of cars. Wallace, Hamp, Shoemaker, Davis, and J.R. Shepard, Keith Shoemaker, the other Red Bull driver in the field, as we're starting to come up on that 31 and 89 that lost the pack earlier. It only took 13, 14 laps for those two to get lapped.
Belke, Shinovsky about to lose some time. Want to lap down this early? It's probably not how you wanted this race to start.
Definitely tough. You would have thought they could have coordinated better. They could have gotten in line with each other and maybe prolonged that from happening at least a little longer. They would have still gotten lapped, but it would not have been as quick. But now they're both going to have to try to get in the main pack and battle for the lucky dog, probably. The third, there was Jeff Adams.
Adams to the outside, but unlike earlier in the Challenger Series, we're going to go 3 wide here. Carlisle gets left out to dry, has no help on the high line.
He thought Adam Cabot was his friend. Not the case. Cabot just wants the track position. He's not trying to get too crazy on the third lane, so Carlisle's going to lose all that track position he gained.
Trask holds on to the point, and I was trying to say there, unlike the competition caution we had in the Challenger Series at the Road Course Sonoma Raceway, we will stay green. There is no competition, there is no stage. And a little bit of a ripple effect again here. Side draft for the 6 car. They fell right down on the door of Trask on the inside. But it's going to help them get some momentum. Here comes Cabot.
Big move. He got clear to the bottom line and took the opportunity. McWhorter's going to follow him through. But Adams is going to get help from his Juice Spider teammate, Donnie Kite. They're working pretty well together tonight. I hope I said that right. I can't remember. But McWhorter also made a big move. He was barely clear of that 79 of Trask. But they both got down. 2 fast drivers leading that bottom line now.
So we'll continue on out of the exit of turn 2, the outside line. Third lane really built up here. You can see with the 57 of Dakota Floyd. You've got the 05 of James Lehman also in that group. The 12 of Threlkel to the top 10.
Not too far behind them, I see the 84 of Ganekin getting up through the field. He's got Martinez behind him. They're in that line that just moved down to the bottom. Now AJ Stravato, we talked about that damage, went up to the high side. I didn't see if he did that on purpose. I think he might have. It looked like he just got out of their way. So he might have been struggling with some temp being in that line. He could have gotten out of line as, is that Indiana Jones or Logan? No, that's Logan Threlkel up into the top 10.
Yeah, I had to do a double take as well. Usually a Santa hat on this machine, on this driver cam. You can see the hood still has a Santa hat. I think Indiana Jones might be working a little bit better this week. As he works his way to the front, just now to 9th position.
If he gets any sort of good finish, he's going to put Indiana Jones on that hood, that's for sure. Look at the side drafting at the front. McWhorter not giving an inch to the driver of the 17 as Josh Adams, Donnie Kite, they continue to lead this field pretty well.
Was on board with McWhorter on the high line. He's got the 05. Lehman giving him a push. The 6 car late block. What a shove there.
Yeah, McWhorter's had a lot of struggles and a lot of bad luck this season. He's not going to put up with people blocking him like that, racing him like that. He's going to be very aggressive tonight, trying to get that good finish that he so desperately needs. Did not get the run off of 2 that he needed, not getting up to the bumper quick enough as he got 2 cars clear. Adams and Lehman both clear that bottom line as they're still fighting pretty hard at the back of the field. Stravado in the middle, but you keep having Bryce Shoemaker and Ryan Carwell trying to get the 3rd lane going.
It got going there for a little bit. You had the 57 and the 05 on that top groove up next to the wall down the backstretch. But I think the reason it worked so well is because there wasn't that middle line to really hinder them. They can all push by and didn't have to worry about side draft. They're going to leave the 6 car completely out to dry here.
I think Josh Adams kind of got surprised there a little bit. He was just kind of biding his time, just sitting there. I don't think he expected them to go to the inside of him, but there's no reason to run the top side. It's not going to be faster like it's 2013 unless everyone runs up there. Even then, I don't think you're going to see that. You're starting to see now that 3rd line. You got Martinez and Ganekin working together. You got Carwell and Shoemaker up there as well. So you got kind of 2 separate tandems on the 3rd lane right now as James Lehman now leads this race in front of Dakota Floyd, who started 24th.
Lehman started in 19th. He's gained 18 to be up here, 22 gained for the car behind him. McWhorter's gained 28 spots, so a lot of big movers up here in the top 10, and a big move here on the outside as the 6 of Adams gives a huge shove to McWhorter.
And the key to those tandems is just barely being on the left rear quarter panel. If you push on the right rear, you really slow down the car because the side draft is so strong in these next-gen cars that if you're pushing on the right rear, you're slowing both of your cars down. You push on that left rear, the side draft isn't as strong. You fly down the back straightaways. You can see him kind of skating around that rear bumper. They hit 196 in the turn number 3, while James Lehman not getting tandem was pretty much at the same speed, but he lost so much on the exit of turn 2 that they were maybe 3/4 of a second behind. But you run out of oil temp to work with, you got to drop right back where you came from. Here goes Adams.
Move. Adams to the outside. McWhorter gets a rear bump.
Lehman's got to be careful. He's got to lift off the left rear. He's very aggressive there, trying to make a hole that was not there. And look at the ripple once again. Ripple effect is the word phrase of the day, because there was another big stack up. That's the word I'm looking for, is stack ups. Those keep happening. That was almost a wreck because of it. Stack up, ripple effect, same thing.
It's a wave.
Is it a tiny wave or is it a tsunami? It'll be a tsunami later.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain we're going to see a crashing wave here at some point in this race. Right now, though, 21 laps complete now. When they cross this tri-oval, they'll come out for lap 22. 7 to go. That 29 graphics, $29 award.
8 to go, completion of lap 29, so I think it would be 8 to go, but either way, completion of lap 29, we will see $29 handed out to, if the charter driver is leading, they'll get it. If it's not a charter driver, they won't get it. Like if Stravado wins it, he will not get it because he's not chartered anymore. Warder in a good spot. Like you said, he's all the way from 30th up to the point.
You got a lot of drivers back here, though, starting to plan their move. And if you work your way up here once, you can do it again.
Block. No one's going to go with him. Well, we might push 4 wide. Nope, Kibby's going to lift out of it, but McWhorter doesn't have any friends in the middle line that time. Everyone got by him. And Ganekin's going to go to the middle. He got Josh Adams up in 3rd lane. 3 wide for the lead. Martinez is going to go with the 84, no doubt. His teammate working well together there. Cabot just tagging along.
And where did the 43 car have to come from? All the way back, almost at the tail end of this field.
Ooh. Cabot wanted up. They blocked it. He got back to the middle of the racetrack. Now he has no help. Will McWhorter go with him? It looks like no, he's not going to be able to. Cabot's going to get down to the bottom.
I want to blink there from Cabot. And that's McWhorter again.
Oh, man, you got to be careful if you're pushing Martinez. He's basically in his rear bumper, but I think they're going to get away with it. Huge move. Wow, they almost wrecked the 84 and the 17. They're almost wrecking Lehman into the back of the 84. Real big stack up with the 26 and the 12. They're still stacking up with the 79 back there. They survived again. You would think this is coming to the end, but that's how much $29 means to these guys. Just wait until it's for 50 at the end.
Incentivizing this race. At a quarter of the way through, it's been intense, to say the least. A lot of blocking going on.
Another move.
43 to the outside. Cabot moves down in front of Ganekin to try to keep this momentum going.
It's going to be fun if they're at the front of the end, all these guys. Martinez, McWhorter, Cabot, Ganekin. It's going to be a heavyweight battle if they survive. But you got to survive. We got plenty of time to go. And this is not going to get the lap 29 if I had to put money on it.
Well, somebody did, and maybe that's why it won't get to lap 29. These guys racing really hard up here for the top spot. You also have a third line developing again. Pretty wide, 77.
Dohar and Sullivan trying to make that work. The tandem's strong, but you got to be connected all the way throughout, and you have to have the temps to do it, or else you won't make any ground up. Didn't look like they had any run there anyways. You're starting to see McWhorter. He's going to block the 43 up to that middle line. He's leaving a lot of the middle open, but Martinez didn't take it. Now he's going to get to the right rear. Now there's contact. McWhorter back to the bottom. Huge block. The 43, huge block on the 14 as well. This is unbelievable, the blocking we're seeing. Oh, look at the shove.
Maybe a bad bump there on the back of Martinez from the 14 to Kenny Kimmy. Got him a little upset there on the outside. He drops back about 4 spots.
Here goes Ganekin. He's going to try to get the run from the middle line as those two tandem away. But when they have to separate, they are going to have a big run coming from behind out of turn number 2. I'm almost certain of it. This is now a pack of 33 cars. Watch that, they're going 188. They have no chance of blocking the 84 at 43 that time. Got some more juicy spider drivers up there. I think that's Nick Hapiak in the 06. He started back in 28th. He got up to the 9th position as McWhorter in the 84, so close to contact. Kibby's going to go to the top. Big block. Hapiak got to the inside of him. Now Kibby's going to be hung out. Still got 3 to go before $30 is going someone's way, hopefully, here. Ganekin leading that second line. Dohar checked up. Real big contact there almost. How did they not wreck? Goes Hapiak to the third lane. This is just a preview for the end of a race, Bradley. This is insane. Now McWhorter going to the bottom of the racetrack. He gets the push from Cabot. This is unreal.
They continue to hold on to it somehow. I don't know how these guys with these late blocks, usually this car gets hit and it throws it sideways. So a lot of car control. You can see McWhorter making another move up here to the middle. 84, Ganekin says no. Cabot says no.
Oh, someone spun at the back of the field. Cut back up in traffic. Mark McFadden, Elliott Butler, and one more car, Rob Denton. And that's going to bring us to the end, to the lap 29. Who got it? It's either Ganekin or McWhorter. I think McWhorter might have gotten it before the yellow. Ganekin barely didn't pass him, but that should give McWhorter that $29. But it's going to be interesting if they have to wait for the pace car. Actually, no, they're going to be able to pit. So it's almost like if someone stays out, they might be given the money. Wonder how that's going to work.
It'd be like a stage where if the caution falls within that time. This could be interesting. Maybe we'll do it off of pit road. Maybe we need to get rid of this here and wait and see. Here comes the pace car.
That'd be tough. Couldn't see what happened in the crash. All I saw is the 93 get turned and cut it across traffic. I think they're going to do it. Whoever crosses the line leading lap 29 is going to get the money. So you'd have to stay out, basically, to get the money. But are you going to get... You can guarantee yourself $29, or you can really screw yourself on fuel strategy by staying out here. I think McWhorter is probably going to take the money.
Yep.
Which is kind of good news, bad news. Because he's going to get the money, but he's not gonna be in a good spot. for strategy.
Well, maybe $29 will make him feel a little bit better. So there you have it. Across the line now for McWhorter. He's going to stay out. He actually has to go around one more time to complete lap 29. And I would assume he's going to do so since he's already committed to staying out here.
He was not happy over the radio, for sure. So there's some contact on pit road, I think, between Dakota Floyd and Mike Sturgill, but no big crash there, as the first driver off the pit road is going to be Case Lacatas. I think he just rolled through. The real first driver off the pit road is James Lehman. Sure, McWhorter's upset because he is going to put him behind in a really bad spot for fuel, but hey, you can't turn down $29. It's not a bad day at the office regardless. Obviously, I'm sure he wants the points, but it's not a guarantee that he's out of this race.
No, and there's plenty of things that can happen. We could have another caution here in a few laps that puts him back in a better situation to come down pit road. Honestly, you know, he crosses this stripe. We're going to get the 2 to go signal at that point, I believe. Or we might be at 2 to go
next time.
Yeah, so he's pretty much committed here to staying out on the racetrack. Unfortunately for him. While we wait for that 1 to go signal, we're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm going to try to get this fixed here, whatever the issue has been. You are watching the Saturday Night Racing League live on VSPEED. We might have a slight interruption here, but we'll go back live as soon as we get this figured out. More coverage continues right after this.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create.
Back here live at Talladega, some events happened here on pit road, and we'll try to unpack all of that for you. But the 73 of Joseph McWhorter came down pit road before he completed lap 29, and the 05 of James Lehman technically led the end of lap 29. McWhorter tried to get to his pit stall. He had actually missed it, Connor, and you said he backed up on pit road.
Yeah, I don't think he realized how early of a stall he had, and he was backing up on pit road in the middle of pit road, and he slammed the front of Josh Adams to the point where Josh Adams has so much damage, he's going to be a few laps down from the damage. He's already 1 down. He's going to go 2. So Adams is almost pretty much out of contention. It's a driver on the apron in turn 3. It's Matt Shanowski, but he saved it. But yeah, I don't understand what McWhorter was doing. I don't know if he was frustrated with how they were determining the lap 29, or he wasn't thinking or what, but he backed into Josh Adams, gave him damage. He got himself disqualified for going backwards on pit road, and he's out of the race. I've never seen that, I don't think.
Not here.
Not in the league. Definitely not here. But we continue with 39 cars. Rob Denton's also down laps after being in that first yellow. McWhorter's done, and Josh Adams has pretty big damage, already one down. And Shinosky, the only other driver a lap down. It was Austin Belke who got the lucky dog.
So we're going to try to go back. We'll have a replay dialed up for you. Let's try to get the connection issue sorted out. But we will go back to, I believe it was lap 27 where this all went down. I'll try to find that for you guys in the broadcast.
Also, your feed, whenever we can get to that. I can't see what you're seeing. And Lehman continues to lead. There we go. Now we're good. Lehman, Floyd, Threlkeld's into the top 3. This would be a big run for him, but still such a long way to go.
So this is somewhere back around lap 27. And I'm going to rewind this to
lap 29 under yellows when it happened.
Well, I'm going to back up here to the initial caution. I don't think
we did not review that.
We did not have a look at that as well.
Something to do with the 93 for sure. There was so much blocking happening, and I don't know, maybe they got distracted. They didn't get a good look at what happened to the 93. Just saw him shoot across the track. Middle of the racetrack. Oh, he just goes for a gap that isn't there in front of the 54 Shoemaker. Catches the 5 and the 16. It's not clear. A little bit of a mistake there. But a pretty run-of-the-mill yellow. Elliot Butler got some damage, but he'll be able to continue, as the only one who really got big damage out of that was Denton.
And then we'll go back here and look at this margin. This is down on pit road. And the 73, I think, is already disqualified here.
Might have been a lap before, possibly. Or, can't tell. Suppose maybe at this point. Oh yeah, there it is. That's the tail end of it. Him and Adams coming together. But you could see McWhorter started in 30th, so his stall's all the way at the back. I don't think he realizes that. So instead of going back around, what he's going to do is back up in the middle of pit road, and there's nowhere for Josh Adams to go because his stall's right there. And I don't think he's expecting someone to be reversing in the middle of pit road. So
I don't think anyone is.
I feel horrible for Adams because he had a great run going, and now he's going to have to nurse a damaged race car for the rest of the race. He's going to go 2 laps down in a few laps, so I don't know what the 73 was thinking, but it's taken not only him out of the race, but also the 6 out of the race. And still don't know if the 73 or the 05 is going to get the money. I'm going to assume it's Lehman, but don't quite know. But either way, we got that sorted out. We got those replays. We can get back to some action here. Adam Cabot, no surprise that he's leading, going for 3 in a row at this track. Lehman, Floyd, Dohar, Sullivan, the top 5.
And they've kind of branched out here in that top 5. They've single filed out all the way back to Jeff Wright, who's on the outside of Logan Threlkeld. Now drops back in line. You have Brian Hennings on the high side. This is for around 10th position now. Side by side with Hennings up to 6th now. The 1 of Joseph Sullivan up 13 positions. Solid day for the 1 so far today.
He's had to climb up through the field just a little bit as well. He started kind of mid-pack in 18th. He's found his way to the 5th car in line, just behind that 77 of Dohar. As you can see, I wouldn't call this calm, but maybe a little calmer than the race for the money was. But it'll get even more chaotic when they race for 50 later for sure. So we're not even halfway. We're 10 laps away from halfway this time by right now. And everyone's just kind of trying to ride at this point. I don't know if the fuel can quite get to a 1-stop. it might be a little tough, but I think most drivers will try it because it's likely going to be tough.
Impressive drive here by Brian Hennings with that damage even on the front end. Ryan Carwile able to get him up to the top spot, and Hennings will lead his second lap here today. He's been to the top 5 most of the night. Again, like you said, we still got tons of racing left to be done. Green flag pit stops if we can make it there. Cheddar's machinist Stefan Davis, high line with the 14 at Kenny Kibbe down the backstretch.
Cheddar's car trying to get to the front, leading that middle line. Not much help up there. It seems like a lot more drivers are willing to ride right now as they're going to go to the third lane, the 60, the 14. You got, I believe, it might be the 88, Keith Shoemaker up there with Rob Hampton, the 4, who had a pretty decent run going at Canadian Tire until the first stage, or the second part of that race started, I should say, but a lot more calm. Not many drivers trying to get to the front right now.
So that caution.
Oh! Crash! Rob Hamp around!
And a late block there, no caution.
I don't know if that was a block or just a complete misjudgment. He just chopped down like Brian Hennings or someone wasn't even there. I don't know. That was a tough misjudgment. I don't know. That was very confusing. I guess I'll take the jinx blame for that. I don't know. He sees Kibbe go down. He sees a gap there. It's not even close. Just comes down on Brian Hennings and spins himself and make it worse. He gets no yellow from it.
He'll drop all the way back to the 37th position. He's now 15 seconds away from the lead.
He's another one that's going to have to hope for a yellow. He's really going to be the only driver not with any help on the lead lap, which is not what Matt Shinosky wants to see if he wants to get the lucky dog.
And concurrently right now, there's 29 of you in the chat. Again, posting up there in the chat if there is a problem with the stream right now. It seems healthy enough, and I think everything's running smooth enough that we're good to go. But like I said, we've had some issues to start this thing out. I apologize to anybody that has had a buffering issue. We're going to try our best to keep this thing going as we have Kenny Kibbe to the top spot. The 60 is Stefan Davis on the high line, and Hennings on the bottom with Carwile.
That time by, you had 3 drivers in the top 5 that started 29th or worse. Kibbe started all the way back in 38th, and he's found his way to the lead for the first time tonight. As you can see, I can't tell if there's that many people maybe saving fuel or just their car, but the bottom line not going right now.
So I apologize to you, Connor, because I've kind of been, quiet, unusually quiet here tonight, but I'm doing everything I can here in the background while running the stream to try to get this resolved. I know that it's probably not in high definition right now. I can confirm that it's probably not putting out enough bandwidth to be in 2K. So if you're having problems reading some of these numbers here tonight, it's most likely on my end and not your problem with your internet or anything like that. We'll try to get through it though, and Kenny Kibbe is getting through it. They have about a 4-car length gap, and Bryce Shoemaker, who was involved in that caution back on lap 29, he had minimal damage. He's now sitting in 4th.
Look at these teammates, Kite and Josh Adams, even with Adams all that damage. He's still working together well at the 26, trying to get his lap back the hard way. That was tight with Shoemaker getting up in front of Brian Hennings, but he's trying to get his lap back and lead this pack. He's got a lot of damage, but the car clearly still has speed as we're 2 to the lead, as Josh Adams technically still on the lead lap right now. As that's going to get Donnie Kite all the way to the front of the field. Worked well for them.
How long can they hold it though? The 6 car technically back on the lead lap now as they cross the line.
Back to 1 down, I should say. Sorry, he did go a second down. That's my bad. That's how much damage he did have to repair. But it's kind of surprising. He said 4 minutes of damage, but clearly whatever he did repair kept speed in that car to be able to tandem that fast as blocking going on. Shoemaker trying to block for a second. Donnie Kite gets blocked by his teammate. I don't think he was expecting that really, but They did almost wreck each other. Their two teammates going at it. And here comes on the third lane, J.R. Shepard. He was running at the very back that entire first stint. He's up into the top 10 with help from Belke, who got the lucky dog.
I was looking back there. Matt Shinosky is technically the lucky pass position in 38th. He is almost an entirety of the racetrack around here from the 6, but they are off the pace. They have a 4-car tandem back here, and it's about 35.5 seconds to the car closest of Rob Hamp, who spun a moment ago.
Yeah, Hamp's definitely going to get lapped at some point. It's just a matter of hoping that it's the 31, hoping that it doesn't, they wreck before that, but we'll see what happens as that top line a little bit less formed up now. Keith Shoemaker trying to work with Bryce Shoemaker as they found each other at this point in the race. Tandeming a little bit. Travato looking to the middle of Stephen Davis. Couldn't quite do it. Big block in the back on the bottom line. Max Koss threw a huge block on Jeff Wright.
And so you mentioned Jeff Wright. He's had a quiet night. He's had a quiet season so far. He got close to a victory just a couple weeks ago. A late caution comes out. Drivers take 2 tires, and Bailey Turner ends up winning that race at Kern County, I believe it was.
He was fast at Kern County. He was maybe 500, 200 feet away at Auto Club for the yellow Force, the green, white checker. That's the main one. He was not happy after that, still looking for that victory. It could definitely happen here. He's just not as aggressive, I think, as he needs to be at these races most of the time. But as long as he keeps himself in the hunt, anything can happen.
When the aggression will really turn up, the intensity at these races usually comes around 10 laps to go, and you start making moves to put yourself in at least a scenario where you could get to the lead. Right now here on the bottom, though, in 14th position, there's not a lot to work with, and just tick the laps away. That's essentially what's going on here. You saw the intensity of the first 20 or so laps. That's went away, and these guys have dialed it back quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely dialed it back a bit, and I say that it looks like I don't think they're really pushing that hard on the top of the Shoemaker guys. I just think they're really struggling to hook up and bump trap. They're really squirrely. The 88's really all over the place off the front bumper of the 54, and I think Stravato sees that. He's not even really getting close to these two. He's just kind of letting them do their thing and hoping it doesn't go sour, because they're really struggling. They're doing well. They're doing kind of poorly enough. Ooh, Stravato almost got chopped there, but they're kind of so squirrely that's allowing Josh Adams and Donnie Kite to just pace this line, pace this entire pack.
Travato working the bumper of Shoemaker. You have Hennings down there on the bottom in the 3rd position. Again, the 6 of Josh Adams has some damage. He's back to 1 lap down. They are catching up to the 4 of Hamp. He is all by his lonesome coming through turns 3 and 4 now. This is good news for the 6 car. He will get by and be at the top of this field, but you still have the 31 of Shoemaker that these drivers would have to catch up to. So they have to stay green long enough as we see a little turbulence here. 26 in the 54. A little bit of back and forth in both lines.
Yeah, I threw a little bit of a half block there, just trying to stunt the momentum of those Shoemaker boys, and it definitely worked. It really squirreled them up there. Stravato, I think, is getting impatient with these two, wanting to pass them. He just doesn't have the help behind him to do so, and he doesn't have enough room in the middle to really push it that hard, so he's just kind of stuck there. He has room to the bottom if he wants it. Actually, no, he doesn't. The 17's right there. The big gap between the 17 and the 71 as Carwell kind of dropping off those top 3.
Hole was pretty open there in front of behind Carwile just a moment ago. Stravato could have dropped down, chose to stay in line. Now the hole's closed. There's a gap between Carwile and Hennings that has opened up. If the 88 wants to drop down there, Stravato probably just waiting patiently and running out.
He's waiting for them to just do something. He does not want to really get into a 3-car tandem with how squirrely those two are looking right now. Just kind of biding his time. He probably doesn't think J.R. Shepard or Kenny Kibbe will go with him, so he has no choice but to really ride, or maybe hope for a lane to open up on the bottom just to start riding and getting in line.
So cloud cover, not much of a factor here at Talladega, but we will put the weather up. Track temperature has come down about 3 degrees and from where we started. We've had kind of overcast for the past 20 minutes or so. Ever since that caution came out, it seems like it's clouded up. You can go back and talk about the tires. We have 4 tire sets available here tonight, Connor. Doesn't look like really anybody is going to use those if we get to a green flag pit stop.
Probably it depends on how much fuel they're going to end up taking. If you think saving that extra maybe half second, 1 second's worth it, you'll take right sides only just so you have enough grip on the exit of the pits to keep it on the apron and not get a penalty, or just don't spin out altogether. But if you're taking a full fuel tank, it's almost just worth it to take the 4 tires just so you don't have to worry about any possible handling issue. I would think these drivers are going to have to take near full tank to make it on one stop.
On board with Keith Shoemaker, getting a pretty solid shove here down the backstretch, but it seems like through the corners, not working as well. And the 54 glued to the back bumper, but it's just not working. They're not meeting up well. Maybe something to do with a Camry versus a Camaro on the back bumper.
I think this has to do with a little bit of an experience, not knowing how to bump draft at the front of the field, maybe just not being used to it with how different the car handles in these conditions as Rob Hamp goes 1 lap down. It's very tough to perfect. It's going to take you a number of races to actually perfect it and do it well. It's hard to do without wrecking the guy in front of you. It's very hard for Bryce for sure. So especially if the 88's already a little squirrely, that makes it even more difficult. You have to be very careful.
And some of these drivers have kind of fallen to the back of this field. You've got drivers like Michael Sturgill, Ryan Chambliss, Eddie Trejo, all at the tail end of this pack. They're not pushing the issue. Riding on board with the 3 car, you can see he's just taking the laps away, taking his time.
Yeah, he's taking his time right now. Sturgill's pretty much been on the bottom line the entire night. I don't think I've seen him venture up to the 2nd or 3rd lanes ever since he initially started right now. Everyone's just kind of riding much more stable 2 lanes right now at this point in the race, as a few laps are going to be at 40 laps of racing to go. Just quick to note, I'm overhearing the radio in this session. I don't know if he's being serious for sure, but I thought I heard Alec Martinez say that he didn't have any brakes at all, so that would be interesting if that was the case. I don't know how a pit stop would happen. Maybe he's hoping for yellow.
So no brakes on the 43 car, and an equipment malfunction for Alec Martinez. If something happens in front of him, where do you go?
Fibbing. Well, we'll see if he's fibbing. You never know with Alec, but if you have no brakes, you got to turn it to the apron and just pray you don't hit anything or anyone, and just hope you get back on the banking without hitting the outside wall or anyone else. That's about all you can hope for, really, if you don't have a brake pedal. I've never had that problem. Usually, if I lose the brake pedal, all my stuff's connected, so just the wheel would turn off as well, so I wouldn't even have that issue. But, whoa, Rob Hamp almost in the wall. But, yeah, if he doesn't have a brake pedal, if he's being serious, that's going to kill him. If he has to go and make a green flag pit stop, he's going to lose the pack, no doubt.
The deeper through this field, we're starting to create a little bit of 3 wide here. Hamp was up there on the outside. He's going to drop back down in line, riding on board with Caleb Weekly in the number 13 right now. And I got a pretty good look at the bumper of this machine in the Challenger Series for quite some time. Did a fantastic job for a top 5 at Sonoma. See if he can do the same thing here at Talladega. Complete opposite end of racing.
I really wonder if the fuel-saving games are starting, because I don't see why else Jeff Wright and these guys would be dropping so far off the lead pack. They're actually in a dangerous spot of not being able to stay with the lead pack, but I think they have enough of a run to stay with them. But you're definitely seeing some rubber banding, some guys kind of pushing at certain points and then kind of lifting and just dropping off a little bit more. You got to be careful of doing that, because it's going to create even more checking up issues and even more accordion effects that we've seen already so many times during this race.
Well, Connor, what do you think the window is here? They're about 26 laps on this stint now for most of these cars. When do you bring it down to pit? I think it's going to be one stop and done from here.
Well, something happened to Martinez. He just had to reset. I think everything broke there or something, because he just stopped in the middle of the tri-oval there. I don't know if that was him getting off the track or his stuff fully shut off, but he is off the track, so maybe we don't have to worry about that after all. But I would think they probably have to make it. They pit lap 29, basically, or lap 28, 29, so that's about 65 laps they have to go. And so you probably got to make it about to 64, 65 in this race to make it to the end. So you still probably got to push 5-10 more laps to try to make it to the end on a one-stop, which I assume everyone's doing because they've gone so long. You're going to want to stretch this fuel as far as possible for sure to make sure you don't have to save on the final run, because that would be a killer if you had to sit behind guys racing for the win.
26 keeping his teammate out there 1 lap down. The 6 of Josh Adams has kept the 26 of Donnie Kite up front for quite some time. Some late blocks going on in the background here of Stephon Davis on the 4.
I think him and Rob Hamp had contact there. They saved it, but lost a lot of momentum. Jeff Wright kind of got caught up in that, just got held up a little bit. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication, but they were able to save it. As you see how much more spread out this front line is right now. The Shoemaker guys still trying to make it work on the outside, but they're still really kind of out of control trying to do this tandem that they're doing. J.R. Shepherd, Kenny Kibbe, they're just pretty much watching these two do what they can, while Donnie Kite and Josh Adams, ever since they got to the front of this line, they've been able to ride.
The 88 did lead that time by, but I think the 54 got hot there. Had to back way off. He's going to try to drop down in front of the 06. 05, rather.
Save
of Lehman.
I think that's definitely these guys trying to get in line for pit stops and just cutting it way too close. Yeah, he kind of hesitated there, too. If you're going to make that move, you got to get a solid cut to the bottom of the racetrack. He hesitated, which probably made Lehman hesitate to get on the brakes and almost caused a big one there. But you definitely see these drivers getting ready for pit stops, getting to the bottom. We only got like 3 cars on that top side now. One of them, J.R. Shepherd, second in the points.
There's J.R. Shepherd all the way from the back of the field, 39th position. We had 41 cars to start this event.
There's Alec, got back on track. Whatever issue he was dealing with, he's fixed it, but now he's 2 laps down. So we're still coming this time by to 36 laps to go. If you can't make it any further than this, you're probably not going to make it to the end. J.R. Shepherd got the lead for a moment, but Kite's going to take it back. Adams leads the rest of the pack. I also saw some drivers peel off. I thought there was a second line. Maybe there wasn't, so my mistake. But we're getting there for sure. You still got drivers back there trying to find a place in line. Martinez and Hamp just kind of getting freight trained.
This will all cycle out somewhere around 35 laps to go here when they cross the stripe.
You can tell the fuel's tight when they're spread out like this. I mean, look at how spread out this line is. Yeah, everyone going probably 50% throttle if I had to guess. And yes, that was 2 probablys, as a matter of fact.
You're probably right.
Probably.
Carlisle in line, everyone single file all the way back to around the 30th position here. Ryan Chambliss at the tail end, right at 30th.
Chambliss trying to get that second win of the season. Not going to do it from back there. But who knows? I mean, if we're talking fuel saving, though, this is probably the guy to look at for sure. You know, I got my first league wins on fuel mileage. It's very fun when you get wins on fuel mileage. It's pretty funny to me. I got a win at Talladega on fuel mileage once. I was the only one to make it. It's hilarious. We might see that today, as I think we got pit stops. Here we go. Oh, crash at the back. 2 drivers got into it. I think the 2 Shoemakers got into it with each other, but they kept it straight, so we're going to stay green. Adams, Henning, Shoemakers, Cost, Hamp, Kibbe, Shepherd, Stephen Davis, Mark McFadden, Austin Belke, they all pit. They somehow kept it straight. And that spread out the lead line even more. How did they not speed? That's unbelievable.
When the 6 machine of Adams came down pit road, he probably didn't want to leave his teammate Donnie Kite. He had no choice. I think he was, because he had ran out there for so long by himself before he got, he just ran out of fuel sooner.
We'll see how much longer any of these guys can go. That was very early to pull the trigger for all those drivers that are coming off a pit lane now, and they're not going to be very formed up either, so it's going to be a struggle for all those drivers that pit, just not being together, as everyone else was able to go at least one more lap. This is hilarious how slow the pace is. You can look at the times, how slow the pace is. Last time by, Donnie Kite ran a 51.6. His fastest lap of the race is a 49.2. Carwile on the apron. Is he out of fuel? I think the 71's out of fuel. Oh yeah,
Yes,
he's oh, that is a huge mistake to make at this point in the race. Smart on his part to get down out of the way for sure, but huge mistake. That makes me think we're gonna see everyone here. This is gonna be a lot of cars. Oh, Jeff Wright, look at the 48. He's way too hot. Oh my gosh, he made it. Benjamin Richards didn't quite make it. He's trying to get out of their way. Now he's stopped up here. Oh, Travato got turned. Oh, look out. Rest of the people, he got clobbered by Hronis, clobbered by Keith Shoemaker. Huge crash on pit road. Travato's going to be out of the race with that damage. Huge hit. I thought Jeff Wright was in too deep. He actually ends up making it. And then couldn't see who was turning in on Travato. Maybe it was Happyack. Yes, it was. Because he has to get through his box and just turns to 33. And there's nowhere to go on pit road. Is Travato in the middle of pit road? Nothing you could do. Dohar, Klinger, Sturgill, Ganek, and Lyons, they just all pit. They're on cleanly, but that can't really happen. You got to be more aware of where you're pitting when you enter pit road. Hronis and Keith Shoemaker had nowhere to go. Curveball in this race.
Your pole sitter, Chad Klinger, down pit road now for the 3rd round of pit stops.
Almost forgot he was the pole sitter. I don't even know if he's led a lap tonight.
He is not.
Funny how that works.
That's Talladega sometimes. Korea Sturgill down. Lucas Lyons in here as well, down and away.
Looks like Tyler Dohar got a speeding penalty. He's getting held. Benjamin Richards got another penalty, so he's still getting held. Travato did get a meatball flag, so he's out of this race. There's nothing he can do. I'm sure he's going to be livid with Nick Happyack for sure. But look at how much this field has been scrambled up through all of this. It has really scrambled this field up. And the big winners are these 4, Shepard, Adams, Hennings, and Gibby. Look at the gap they have.
In another time zone, 5.1 seconds ahead of Austin Belke in the 4th position. They're just now getting to the middle of 3 and 4 as Jared Shepard comes by to exit turn 4, now into the tri-oval.
It's good for track position, but with how early they pit and how little cars they have, the problem is if you have to save maybe 2 laps of fuel, how are you going to do that at Talladega with a 4-car line? You're not going to be able to do that and keep that track position. You're going to see those guys, I would think, really bear down on that line of 8 behind them.
Well, we are past the halfway mark, and we haven't done it yet today, so I think now's the prime opportunity here. Connor Horn, what do you say we get a little bit loud? Presented by FireStorm Racing.
I thought you'd never ask. Let's get it done.
Get Loud, presented by FireStorm Racing. We have our RSR Driver Cams with Caleb Weekly, Michael Sturgill, and Logan Threlkel. J.R. Shepard in this group of 4 cars. You actually have the 6 of Adams in this grouping, helping keep them ahead. It's about 7 seconds to the lead. It's grown a little bit.
I was about to say, I thought they might fall back a little bit, but you know, they're definitely gaining, and I think those guys at the back are not maybe going full send because you're not seeing them very bumper to bumper. My theory is that these guys are just trying to get so much of a gap that they can pit for a splash and still come out in front. I personally don't think that's going to be possible, but we'll see what type of gap they can put on this line, because I think everyone in this line is trying to save to make it to the end. Majority of those guys came in on lap 62 for the most part, while those guys up at the front pit on lap 59 and 60. 58-60.
Max Koss pushed the 06 of Happyack up to the tail end of this group of 10. And they have now caught up. You can hear off the throttle here for Happyack and a few others that are deep in this line. You can run on board with Caleb Weekly doing kind of the same thing. They're definitely in fuel conservation mode. Unfortunately, though, for Austin Belke, he can't save. He's got all the drag, all the wind on the front of this machine, and he might be trying to save, but I don't think it's working.
They're going to have to make a decision of if they want to push to try to stay with those guys, or they're going to commit to just making sure that they can make it on fuel, because last time by that lead line was 1.3 seconds faster. If they keep that up, they're going to get a pretty decent gap. I don't know how much time they would need to be able to take a splash and still come out with the leaders, those front 4, but
I would guess at least 20 seconds would be the window, but you've got a long pit road. It might need to be even more than that. It might need to be almost a full lap.
I think at this rate, if that lead line, that second big line doesn't pick it up, they have a good chance of doing it. They were another maybe second and a half faster that time. So they're going around Matt Shinosky. It's going to slow them up a little bit. Oh, Josh Adams is going to get in behind the 31 and leave J.R. Shepard on the top. That's going to slow them up a little bit.
But for the 6 car, he probably wants to get around Shinosky, as he would be one of the cars that he would pass for a position.
Would be for position.
The front.
Yeah, would be for position. Would not be for the lucky dog that belongs to Elliott Butler, who was in that second line, but that was not the move. They had to just get by. They should have just gotten by the 31. That slowed them up a lot to where they were not as much faster than that big line as they should have been. Kibby's going to be the big loser in that. Brian Henning's got J.R. Shepard for the lead, though, so that could be a key to note later in this race if they have to make that stop again.
So things have cleared up a little bit here on my end. I'm seeing some green bars for the first time in this broadcast, so at least we've got that going for us. Even if things are falling apart with fuel strategy, it seems things are going better for us here on VSPEED with the broadcast. Again, thank you guys for sticking it through. If you were having some issues, should be cleared up.
See, that time by, they ran 51 4s and 51 6s, which is really slow. It's still faster than the back line, though, by 4/10, but it could have been so much better. Meanwhile, you got the third line, which we didn't even know. Eddie Trejo's leading that line of cars. They're also running pretty slow laps. Got cars all over the track at this point in the race.
Get Sturgill back in this mix as well, and I think some of this could be chalked up to the chaos we saw during those green flag pit stops. Quite a few of these drivers were in that scenario with cars getting turned on the entry of pit road, cars turned in pit road. There's a couple different things that might have set some of these guys back here.
I mean, yeah, it was a cluster, to say the least, on pit road with the main pack that pit.
Been a fantastic race here thus far, though, Connor. 1 caution, 30 lead changes, and a really good show for the first 29 laps.
We're now getting a show in that second line, by the way. Rob Ham, Caleb Weekly, they're working together. Weekly's up to 5th, but Jeff Wright, Dakota Floyd, Logan Threlkel decided they wanted to get the track position, so they're going for it now.
So maybe just full commitment that they're not going to make it at this point.
I feel like it's too late to try to commit to that. I don't think they're thinking they can't make it, but they need track position. I think they need to maybe they need to make the pace a little faster if that lead line starts to pick up speed again and make that extra stop, they're in danger of not being able to race those guys once they get their fuel. So you got to pick up the pace a little bit. And I think Jeff Wright and those few others knew that because they were much faster that time.
And dwindled down the lead to about 10 seconds. It's going to go under 10 seconds there. Look on the left-hand side of your screen. A couple tenths off that lap.
Whoa.
A little bit of a wiggle there from Weekly on the back bumper of Hamp. The 4 car again is a lap down. He is the first car a lap down. He got ahead of Elliott Butler.
That's probably why he went up as well, just in case that he can get the lucky dog here. But unfortunately, he's going to have to probably wait a few laps because now Jordan Trask is going a lap down. He got a lot of damage from that pit road incident, but Hamp's still leading this line as you can see how much more fuel those drivers behind are saving because the 13 and 48, they're trying to go.
You can see the 6 car just in front of all of this. He's actually ahead of these leaders. He has pushed the 31 of Shinosky all the way out to about half a car or maybe a car and a half.
This makes me think the strategy changed. Instead of trying to make that extra stop, now I'm starting to think that maybe they're starting to lift off and they're still trying to make it to the end, which I personally like them pushing hard, trying to get the gap on that line, but now they've kind of retracted from that strategy possibly because now they're pretty slow. And the second line is just bearing down on them. They almost got it back within 8 seconds.
We'll have 19 laps to go now when we cross the stripe. We are going to take a quick commercial break, though, here on VSPEED. Coming up on maybe one more set of green flag pit stops. You're watching the Saturday Night Racing League live on VSPEED, presented by M&J Distributors. More coverage right after this.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Back here live at Talladega, Brian Hiddings is your leader right now, and we're watching this lead dwindle down a little bit more every lap. You're seeing the 57 of Dakota Floyd with Logan Threlkel pushing their way back closer. The lead's now down to 3.2 seconds. But
Yeah,
just
I think
over 10 to go.
Sorry about that. I think these guys are regretting going very hard at the start because they are having to check up so much to try to make it to the end on fuel, and I think they're going to be in trouble. And they have no choice but to drop back to this line to try to save some fuel. No doubt they're going to get past. The question is who's going to get the lead first. Chad Klinger is coming to the front with help from Lucas Lyons wanting it. They really have to be clear. Whoever's leading this line has to be clear to make that move with how much speed they have over that first line. They're going 10 miles an hour faster.
And Chad Klinger did get a lap led during those green flag pit stops. That was his first one all race. He started from the pole. He's been outside the top 10 for a lot of the day. Now he finds himself in 7th position with the 27 of Lucas Lyons, almost getting him to the front of this tandem. They are catching up quickly.
No, they're in the draft. There's no doubt they'll make the move out of turn number 4. 10 miles an hour faster than all of those drivers. They're going to pass them like they're standing still. Big block. Jordan Trask is going to block Dakota Floyd. I'm shocked he tried to block that, but it did hinder some of their momentum for sure, but they're still going to have enough time and momentum to get that lead away from Hennings at the line right there. Look at this move by Klinger to the middle of the racetrack. What a move that was.
Yeah, these guys not taking kindly. I'm sure there's some radio chatter out there right now towards Trask and that move. He is a lap down.
He's doing that, though, because he's trying his best to stay in the lucky dog position. Him and Rob Hamp are going to battle for it. Elliott Butler, too. So he's doing what he has to do for his race. But look at the run Donnie Kite now has a little bit. Here comes Trask with the push from Jeff Wright in the middle. Chad Klinger and Lyons forced of a third lane. That might end up hurting them and ruining momentum of that pack a little bit. Wright got to the bottom. Very big move there for the 48. And now it's on. All these guys now, they're just hoping they saved enough fuel because now they're going. There are drivers, I thought, pitting. Nope, they did not pit. But I think everyone's just hoping they saved enough fuel because now it's go time.
We've seen a move here to the outside with the 09 of Klinger. A block up here
block.
from Threlkeld.
Oh, he's
Late
going to put
move.
himself in the middle. Yep, that's not going to work. He had to get back down, and he couldn't quite do it. He's going to lose a lot of track position. Caleb Weekly's going to push him, but that was not the right move to make there. As you could see, Shinovsky and Adams still in the distance, as now Klinger and Floyd side by side for the lead.
And Klinger gets left out to dry. It looks like his partner left him, but he does find a gap there between Hennings and Lyons to drop down in between for the 4th position. We've seen this a couple different times here where the 26 has been able to push cars way out ahead and maintain the gap.
It's going to be interesting when they catch Shinovsky and Adams again, if Floyd tries to go around him or just stays in line. Here goes Klinger, big move to the outside, but he has no help. He has to get back in line. Looks like everyone caught, it almost looks like the strategy was they all caught that lead 3-car line, and then they decide, okay, I still need to save fuel, so I got to back up. So now everyone's converging on each other again. That line led by now Keith Shoemaker is also caught up, so they're in the battle too.
And it looks like the 57 is going to be left out to dry. He's falling like a rock. They're going to have to go somewhere. Hennings to the back bumper.
That was a very tight stack up. I don't think Dakota Floyd wants to lead this race. If you're short on fuel, you do not want to lead this race because you're going to be burning up way too much fuel. And I think Dakota Floyd realized that. And now we're back to square one. Everyone trying to save fuel, and we're coming to 11 to go.
And Donnie Kite is in a great scenario. He has his teammate who, unfortunately, is a couple laps down in the 6th machine of Adams.
Adams is just going to stay with him as long as he can for sure, but Chad Klinger wants that lead. Big run in that middle lane. Klinger's got the lead. He's not in front of Adams and Shinovsky, though, but he is ahead of Donnie Kite and Lucas Lyons for the lead. The 09 and the 26, that is the lead battle.
He's got it by about a car length here.
Josh Adams and Matt Shinovsky, they're just trying to stay alive, because if they could at least stay 1 down and catch a few yellows, they can stay alive. But going 2 down, the race is over for them. As Klinger, big run to the outside. If he could clear those 2, and then the outside line kind of dissipates, it'd be good for him, but he just can't quite do it.
Then you got Threlkeld just behind the 27 of Lyons, the 13 of Weekly, and I believe that's the 4 of Hamp who is battling. He's in a scenario here with Trask. He got around the 79, who's fallen all the way back to around P12, P13 in this group.
They also got to battle Elliott Butler. It's a 3-car battle for that lucky dog position, actually. You can even throw in Tyler Dohar, who's in this line, and Alec Martinez is not in this line, but it's a 4-car battle for that lucky dog. They're just hoping someone calls it, and they're not in it, because any incident point, you don't get the lucky dog. So you're not only trying to battle 3 other drivers to get in front of one another, you're trying to hope you're not in the wreck so you can still get it.
Yeah.
Which is, you can't do that. You can't battle hard and then not be in the wreck. It's almost impossible. You gotta think a few people are not gonna make it on fuel here.
Does that cause the wreck? We saw earlier with Carlisle, he checked up, felt like a rock.
It could. We'll have to see. Chad Klinger is definitely one of the best spots on fuel. We remember he did go a little longer than others. He pit lap 63. Lucas Lyons behind him did the same. Threlkeld, on the other hand, pit lap 62, as did most others in this line. That extra lap could make the difference.
I do like where some of these guys that pitted a little earlier are sitting, though. They are in the draft. Now, not in the draft, it's dissipated. That's what Klinger wanted.
And look how much that back line separated again. J.R. Shepard leading Kenny Kibbe, Belke, and a number of others, saving even harder than the front line, way further back from the front 12 or so.
So on board with Caleb Weekly, Logan Threlkeld on the back bumper, the 6 of Adams. Adams moved up. Surprised that happened there. I think they're trying to stop the progress and help out Kite. Got to be getting a little upset, though, here with the 6.
Yeah, sooner or later, I think you'll see those guys get out of the way. Josh Adams really dropped like a rock. Hampton Threlkeld had contact there, but they kept it straight. But these lap cars are definitely going to play a factor, but they're not safe on fuel either.
You see Threlkeld fell all the way back to the 6th position after that. It was almost like the 6 car brought the car out, got back in line on purpose.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I don't know. They're just battling for their own race. There's nothing you can really do about it. I'd say once we get to the white flag, they can get out of the way. But if they don't stay 1 lap down, him and Shinosky can't stay 1 down, the race is over. Looks like Shinosky has to pit. He cannot make it on fuel. Josh Adams will suffer the same fate. They've just been waiting for that yellow to get them back in the fight. It just hasn't quite flown yet. 6 to go.
Yes, we can confirm Indiana Jones does do NASCAR. He is live here on VSPEED in the number 12 right now. Logan Threlkeld has help from Caleb Weekly, but they haven't been able to get back up there where they were just side by side a moment ago with the lead.
And what a mixed-up battle for the win this could be. Look at this top 10. Klinger, Lyons, Kite, Floyd, Hennings. He got 4 drivers in the top 5 with no wins in the Cup Series. Then they got Jeff Wright, Threlkeld, even Adam Cabot going for 3 in a row. Got Caleb Weekly, Lakatos, and even Angelo Coronis, who got a lot of damage, by the way, on that pit road crash. He's still in the mix.
And you say 3 in a row, but it's 3 in a row for Cabot in the races he's actually been in. So that's an interesting statistic as well.
Going for 3 in a row at Talladega. 1 season 2, 1 season 3. It could technically be 4 in a row for the team because Bailey Turner won the first season's race here.
Wait and see. 5 laps left. Threlkeld on the outside. Nobody's came up to block this just yet. They're going to move around Carlisle. Remember, he ran out of fuel earlier in this mix around lap 72, I think it was.
A little testy there. Floyd, Hennings, a little bit of a battle there. Threlkeld and Weekly have been up there the entire time. They just can't quite make any ground up. Oh, Klinger's pitting. Oh, we got guys pitting. No, there's contact. I think they wanted to pit. Almost looked like he wanted to, and Lyons almost wrecked. Keith Shoemaker is having to pit. Here comes Bryce Shoemaker as well. So there's some drivers bailing. Koss, Nick Wood, Elliott Butler. None of those guys could make it. I thought that Chad Klinger was trying to pit. He got so sideways off the floor.
Let's confirm that.
I can't. I wish I could. I don't know. He slowed up a lot. I think he was trying to pit, but I don't quite know. He's still leading. He went from 187 to 182. It looked like he wanted to. That or he just got that sideways. But I don't know how it didn't cause a crash. Coming to 3 laps to go. It's getting very dark out. It's almost like night Talladega. Looks like Brian Hennings is pitting. He couldn't make it. Neither could... Oh, man, he almost hit Mark McFadden, but 74 couldn't make it. Someone else back there is pitting. Belke couldn't make it. I'm starting to wonder if anyone can make it.
We're going to get 2 to go here. 2.5 left from Talladega. You're starting to see moves to the outside. 27 to the 12. They have it going, and the second line prevails.
Lucas Lyons, big run, pushed by Threlkeld. Ryan Carwell is here to just help anyone out at this point. He's a lap down or 2. He's the first driver lap down in this pack. Wonder if anyone in that second pack is going to make it. Michael Sturgill's in 11th, leading that second line. Rob Hamp couldn't make it, but it looks like, oh, contact Floyd and Aronis. They kept it straight, though. 2 laps to go. Lucas Lyons looking for career win number 1, but he still needs to make it, what, 5.32 more miles.
I think Klinger had to back off. I don't think he was in the green. Maybe if he gets behind the 17 at Cabot, he can make it.
He was leading for far too long there, I think. Push. Oh, big move there. That's the 26 trying to go below the line. That's not going to work. Had to lift out of it there. Almost a big crash. They might make it to the white. I can't guarantee they make it to the checkered. And Lucas Lyons in a very precarious spot right now, because if he is short on fuel leading this pack, it's going to be tough. Kite did get to the bottom of Dakota Floyd. Is anyone going to have to pit come to the white? Doesn't look like it. This race is official. If they can get through a tri-oval just one more time before the white flag, then they can do it again next lap. White flag's out, 1 to go. Can Lucas Lyons win it? Here goes Carwile, not for position. He went to the outside, pushed by Adam Cabot, who is for position. Big block. Lyons puts Carwile right behind the lap car of Max Cost. 17 pushing to 71. He wants him out of the way because he wants to win 3 in a row.
You've got the 27 on the bottom with the 12 of Threlkeld. The 17 using Carwile to go by. Klinger on the high line.
Big run on the high line. Cabot is almost clear. I think he is clear if he wants to take it, but he won't. He's going to keep Chad Klinger on the outside, boxed in. Klinger wanted down, couldn't do it. Here goes Carwile. Carwile, he turns. He gets turned by the 17. The lap car gets turned. Lucas Lyons turns Adam Cabot in front of the field. Lucas Lyons and Donnie Kite for the win. Pushed by Dakota Floyd. Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish! Donnie Kite wins it. I cannot believe that finish.
Adam Cabot goes across the nose of somebody here.
Man. Him and Lucas Lyons just came together. Donnie Kite, what a victory. Cabot wants down because he's clear. I'm honestly shocked Ryan Carwile, I don't know why he's blocking it, being a lap down. Then Lyons tries to get to the inside of Adam Cabot, misjudges it. Threlkeld gets in it. It just gives Donnie Kite the perfect run to the right rear quarter panel of Lucas Lyons, and he's got no one contesting him for that victory. I will admit, if I'm Adam Cabot, I'm upset at the 71. He's battling for position for sure, but final lap, I think you got to let the leaders go there. But clearly he was trying not to. Jeff Wright got a little slide in there as well, but what a job by Donnie Kite to get through there. Here's a drag race to the line between these two. Keith Shoemaker almost got there. But Donnie Kite gets it done. What a win for the Juicy Spider crew.
And for all the things that they had to overcome, I mean, the 26 was pushing a teammate that was a lap down 90% of this race.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out perfectly. He had the fuel maybe in part because of that, and he pit pretty darn early. Just perfect run out of turn 4. He just had a lot go his way there. And I don't think he has enough for a burnout.
Post-race interviews with your top three, those final race results. We're going to gather up all that information. It was one caution here today. I can confirm that from Talladega. More coverage post-race for Saturday Night Racing League right after this.
What's up, everyone? I am Joshua Banks, driver of the number 35 Mako Tool Supra.
Comes back. He's going to send it to the inside. They're 3 wide for the race lead. They're going to. Joshua Banks is going to win it. Unbelievable.
And also co-owner of M&J Distributors for the sponsor of Saturday Night Racing. So I just want to thank every single one of you for tuning into tonight's race. I hope you will put on a good show for you guys. I hope that you will enjoy it. So if you do, make sure you drop a thumbs up to VSPEED and subscribe to them, because they, as y'all know, if you haven't already, they put on some great broadcasts. So I'll make this short and sweet. The main reason for sponsoring Saturday Night Racing League is because I've been with these guys for a long time. I've raced with a lot of them. I've been through some rough times, some good times, and arguments and everything like that. But still, grand scheme of things, been through a lot of these guys, and I really do like where this league's going. I want to support it. They've given a lot to the league already, and I think, you know, I'm capable to support back. So that's what we're doing, and we want to keep this league free, you know, for people to join, to have a good time, come in and race and just have fun, you know, and that's what we're all about. So that's the main reason, and that's all I really have to say about it. So I hope you do enjoy the race, enjoy the season coming up. We are hopefully going to put on a great season for you guys. Also, make sure to check out my YouTube channel, Banksy the iRacer. Link will be in the description. Check out, and you can see my point of view, see what's happening on my end. If you want to watch it, it's completely fine. If not, no big deal. So come on over, hang out after the broadcast of this race, and hopefully we'll see you over there. If not, enjoy it, and I'll see you guys on track.
Start your engines!
And for the first time this season, the Saturday Night Racing League, presented by M&J Distributors, is underway at Daytona.
Sorry for the wait. Didn't think I'd come up, y'all just need a little faith. I've been patient, just waiting.
It's killing this line because McWhorter can't complete the pass, and he's sideways off the corner, and he held on to it. Oh, Otto gets turned into turn number 3. McWhorter, Klinger, all in the outside wall. Caution is out. We're going to get a late race restart. Joshua Banks coming out of turn number 4, win number 6 in Saturday Night Racing League, first of the season for the 35. He gets it done in Dover.
The new winner this season, the 09 of Chad Klinger, off of turn 4. He will be victorious tonight at Phoenix. But the 73 of Joseph McWhorter is going to be your season 2 champion. Here he comes off of turns 3 and 4. It sounds like he saved enough fuel. Seth Hatchell, with an excellent strategy, is going to win here tonight at Kentucky Speedway.
Banks takes him 3 wide down the backstretch for the lead. Look at this, 3 wide again. The top 3 still 3 wide for the lead. Banks on the inside, right in the middle, Kevin on the outside.
I can't believe what I'm watching right now.
Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind. This is my prime. Let me tell them one time, I've been on the grind.
Pull those belts tight. You're watching Saturday Night Racing League, only on VSPEED.
Back here live for Saturday Night Racing League, presented by M&J Distributors. The Cup Series has concluded 94 laps today in Lincoln, Alabama. Fantastic race overall. I think we went 30-plus lead changes here to finish this thing out in a surprise finish. Donnie Kite is your winner. He is victorious here today with 35 lead changes. He started in 5th position, used everything available to him to keep that 26 car up front. I believe he led the most laps as well here today. Dakota Floyd, Chad Klinger, the top 3, your pole sitter, works his way back to a podium position. We'll get a word with those drivers in just a moment. A little bit of an interesting take here, and me and Connor were discussing it. Lucas Lyons either hit the brakes coming across the line or thought he crossed the line already. Not entirely sure, maybe ran out of fuel, but Lucas Lyons, 4th spot here. Logan Threlkeld had a real shot at this thing today. He gets a top 5 position. Could have been a lot worse. He had the 17 of Adam Cabot across his nose. Cabot ends up 9th. You have Angelo Horonis, who I don't think we said his name one time tonight. He gets a top 10. Caleb Weekley, solid day, top 10. Casey Lakatos and Jeff Wright rounding out the 10th position.
Don't forget Adam Cabot in 9th. He was going for 3 in a row at this track. Came a tri-oval short, I guess. Had the spin off of turn number 4. Michael Sturgill ends up in the 11th position. Clark Enekin, he lost his teammate Martinez due to whatever the issue was with the 43, but still got a 12th place finish. Joseph Sullivan 13th. All these drivers were really saving hard. You can see how far off the pack they were. Nick Hapiak, he had the contact with this 33 on pit road. He finished 14th. Brian Chambliss 15th. He couldn't save enough fuel tonight, I suppose. Eddie Trejo 16th. A good run for the 21. James Lehman, Brian Henning 17th and 18th. I don't believe Lehman could make it on fuel, but Brian Hennings had the pit. He did not get a good finish because of it. Bryce Shoemaker, same thing, 19th. And Austin Belkey also had the pit. They still got top 20s out of the day, though.
Moving on through the results here, you have Nick Wood finishing in the 21st position. Kenny Kibbe will finish 22nd. 23rd going to Max Cost here today, with Ryan Carwile just behind him. Carwile unfortunately ran out of fuel there during those green flag pit stops, put him deep in this field. Still, to stay 1 lap down, the rest of this field, I'd say half of it a lap down or more. You have Keith Shoemaker in the 25th position, Brandon Wallace 26th, then Tyler Johar 27th, Stephon Davis. We saw the 60 car up front a couple times today. He'll finish in 28th. Mike Sturgill, 29th position, and Rob Hamp a lap down for half this race. He'll finish 30th.
Yeah, he spun under green flag conditions. He never got the yellow to catch back up to the field. Jordan Trask, he was up the front, but he had pit stop issues. He ends up 31st. Elliot Butler got big damage on the only yellow of the race, finishing 32nd. J.R. Shepard, 33rd. He's going to take a big hit in the points after coming into this week 2nd in points. Mark McFadden did not have the best of days, 34th, 2 laps down. Alec Martinez never really threatened at the front, but also had mechanical issues, or I guess electrical issues, whatever you want to call it. His wheel was not working. His pedals weren't working. He gets 35th because of it. Matt Shinovsky, he could never get the yellow to get back on the lead lap, finishing 36th. Shame for Josh Adams. Helped his teammate maybe get a victory, but could have been a victory for himself if it wasn't for the pit road incident. Under the yellow, finishing 37th. That's where he ended up. Benjamin Richards had multiple penalties. He finished 38th. AJ Stravado, 39th. He got destroyed on pit road in the last sequence of green flag pit stops. Joseph McWhorter, 2nd to last, backing up on pit road. Still not sure what was going on there, but he ended up getting disqualified for going backwards on pit road. He finished 40th. And the final finisher, Rob Denton, who was got the most damage out of the only caution of the race. 41st out of 41 drivers to start this race.
And with that, now we will catch up with your top 3. The first driver we're going to talk to, your 3rd place finisher, Chad Klinger. And it sounds like Connor Horn has caught up with the 09.
I do have Chad Klinger. I believe we got him here. Driver the 09 almost got another victory. The 09 led 9 laps, just couldn't lead that 10th one to get the victory, Chad. You were up at the front a lot in the last, I'd say, 10 laps of that race, but it looks like you had to drop back. Were you short on fuel? It looked like everyone was trying to make it to the end, barely.
This is probably the worst 3rd place I've ever had. Myself and Lucas Lyons were good by 2 laps. That's why we hard charged to the front. We were good to go to the end. Unfortunately, with about 10 to go, my VR started to freeze on me intermittently, so I didn't know where I was at half the time. That's why you probably saw me moving down a lane or up a lane sometimes. But we were good to go to the end. But yeah, just hardware issues.
And definitely hardware issues. Played a few drivers tonight. Definitely looked like I did see it kind of struggling in the pack. That probably explains this. You were good on fuel. Then you came to the white flag lap in about P6, but just didn't have enough time to get to the front, even with the crashing happening. What more did you need to get to the lead and get the victory? And what were your thoughts on the lap traffic drivers mixing it up there at the end?
Honestly, if I didn't have any hardware issue, myself and Lucas could have probably won that race. I think we had it, and with my issues, we lost it. I just think at the end of the race or the last lap, I was just trying to stay out of issues. I don't think I could have done anything differently. But I didn't have any issues with lap traffic coming into play. We were trying to pass them. They have every right to keep their line and keep in the race. Who knows if a caution would have come out. I don't have any issues with it. I didn't have any issues there. I just think they did a great job.
Definitely had some mixing it up, but was clean until turn number 4. But either way, you fought through mechanical, I keep saying mechanical issues, we'll call them mechanical issues, but you fought through some issues, still got P3 out of the day. Good points day for you. So congrats on that. Anyone you want to thank, shout out at all?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody here at SNR, our admins, broadcast booth, you guys, all our drivers and members here. We can't put on this show without all you guys and them. Want to congratulate Donald on the win. That was a great first win for him. Good second place for Dakota as well. Everybody here.
Yeah, congrats to Donnie as well. We'll be talking to him in a little bit, but you just came 2 spots short of career win number 4 in this series. Thanks for talking to us, Chad. Good run for you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too.
That's your pole sitter, third place finisher, Chad Klinger in the 09. We're moving on down pit road. Connor, I think you've also caught up with Dakota Floyd in the number 57.
I do have Dakota Floyd. Dakota, you had a great run through the field. You started kind of mid-pack, got up to the front at the end of that race. Coming to the white flag, you were kind of in the middle of everything. You crossed the line 5th, and you saw a lot of blocking happening, some lap traffic in the way. What were your thoughts about some of those lap cars mixing it up near the end of the race?
I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about the whole lap car shouldn't be in the race or in the middle of the lead pack, or especially the super speedway. It's a hard call. Like, if something happens before the white flag, you're in that spot to get the lucky dog. So I get those guys wanting to race it out, but on the white flag though, I kind of think you should scoot out of the way, especially on the super speedway. But that's just my opinion. But overall it was a clean race, but having to fuel save the whole time, no one was really getting super aggressive.
Yeah, definitely saw a lot of riding in that final run. After the wreck out of turn 4, you had a little bit of a run, just didn't have enough time to get to the 26. How much did you have to save that run, and what more did you need out of 4 to get to the 26?
I had to save. We came off pit road, and it was still a save game at that point. I did have enough at one point. I was like, okay, we're riding a little too hard because that front pack was 9 seconds out in front of us, so. Me and Logan got out on the side lane, just hoped to wait for those guys on the inside to slow down enough, and they got checked up. We got around them, and we started taking off and caught those guys in the lead. And I just needed to be a little bit closer, like you said, to the 26 to make something happen. But I'll take a second place for sure, especially the super speedway. They're never kind to me, so this is a win in my book.
It would definitely be a win for a lot of drivers. Definitely one of your best runs in this Cup Series for sure. Led 3 laps to go with a good points day overall for you. So congrats on that. Anyone you want to thank or shout out?
I want to thank the team. James and Logan did a phenomenal job. We stayed locked up together for most of that race. Those guys are phenomenal to follow and push, and to have push you. We worked the best that we could, and I know James had a little bit of a struggle there on pit road and caught him way back in the field, but phenomenal night and showing from those guys, and good on the league. We had one yellow, but we had to fuel save the whole time, so I know people probably couldn't be as aggressive as they wanted to, but everyone was pretty clean on the racetrack, so shout out to those guys and everybody out there. Shout out to you guys in the broadcast booth. You guys do phenomenal every week. It is a blast to go back and watch, so thanks to you guys, and thank you to everybody that watches and everyone that supports me.
Yeah, well, great night for you. If I'm not mistaken, you won that Sonoma, so a P1 and a P2, pretty darn good night. That's as close as we've gotten to having someone sweep the night. 1 spot short, but still a great night for you, Dakota. Congrats on the great night. Thanks for talking to us. Hopefully we see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful night.
You too. That wraps up that interview with Dakota Floyd. A runner-up finish, just shy of that victory. And Donald Kite got the victory. Bradley Cooper's in victory lane with all sorts of Juicy Spider merch there, I'm sure. But he's talking with the 21st different winner in Saturday Night Racing League Series history.
21 different winners, 26 car on the door. I tell you what, Donnie, this is one of those races that you probably will remember for a long time. You now could call yourself a winner in Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. It's a limited list of drivers. Congratulations.
I still, like, are you guys serious right now?
Are we still unpacking it here? Yeah, it did happen.
I don't even know what was going on, dude.
Well, I'll take you back through a majority of this race. You were using the 6 of Adams to keep this car up front. You had a teammate in front of you for the vast majority of this last probably 40 or 50 laps.
Yeah, he obviously didn't intend on catching damage. I guess somebody popped it in reverse in pit road and knocked the front end off the 6 car. Josh Adams, such a great asset to this team. Really thankful the guys at Juicy Spider brought him on to, run with me and help me improve as a driver. He's been a phenomenal teammate, and he said he was going to be there regardless of what was left of the front of the car, and we were rocking it without the damage, and we were rocking it with the damage. So big kudos to him, man.
When we go back through the scenario, there was an on pit road incident with the 6 car, and you put yourself behind the 6. It was kind of a surprising call to us up here in the booth, but true teammate teamwork in real time, where you guys put that car back up front, and had there been a caution, could have possibly got him back on the lead lap. So kudos to that.
Yeah, that was a big goal for us. We knew most of the field was going to be saving fuel. He opted obviously out of saving because it was more important to be leading that line if we were to get a yellow. So I just saved when I could. Anytime somebody tried to take a run on the top, I would just shove him right back at me. And him work so good together at these plate tracks, and he's taught me how to connect and hold a line real well. So hopefully I've made some friends out there tonight outside of everyone at Juicy Spider, so these restrictor plate races will be a little easier on me.
Yeah, sometimes it's a little difficult when guys will leave you out to dry. We saw a little bit of that in the start of this race. We saw it throughout the middle of the field. Guys just kind of not wanting to work together, and chasing $29 there at the start of this thing as well.
Yeah, we were all planning it. Like Josh, he's not chartered, so he can't go for it. He's like, I'm gonna help you guys out. And dude, I keep forgetting about the money thing. Even when I won, I completely forgot about the money until one of my teammates said, "Hey man, you just won $50." I was like, "What?" So, I don't know.
Well, there you go, Donnie. $50 richer. You also capitalize on what should be a good chase, and the format here at SNR has always put on a good show. So you're going to have a scenario where you have a real opportunity. Anybody you want to shout out or thank, though, adding yourself to the list of drivers getting a victory?
Yeah, man. It's been a long time since I've been competitive. I think we talked about it in our last interview. Really, I just want to thank everybody who supports, everyone from NAOR, SRL, any league that I run in. They tune in and watch me. I appreciate every one of you that stick with me. Great friends for years, and my family that tunes in and watches. My girlfriend always supporting me in the chat and blowing up my name in there. So, and she's showing off to all her family. And obviously everybody at Juicy Spider, man. Juicy Spider Gaming, Network, Studios. I mean, they got so many, I can't name them all, but
don't forget the podcast.
Yeah, High Side Podcast, which we just had you guys on, or you on there. So if anyone haven't had a chance to watch that, you should check it out, especially if you're a friend of Bradley Cooper here. So, I just really appreciate everyone's support, man, especially you guys. It's so cool to be sitting in here with the VSPEED legends.
The VSPEED legends. Well, ego in check for me. Connor, you're a legend. I'm just some guy, but I appreciate you coming up here. Donald, good luck. I know this is building up momentum. This is 2 interviews now. Looks like the 26 car might be somebody to contend with when we get postseason.
Just don't count me on a road course. Apparently, I don't know what I'm doing on those things. But I guess I got good vibes on the ovals here, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, apparently I don't know how to do it either. I didn't do a very good job tonight, so I can feel you on that. Appreciate your time, though. Donnie Kite getting the win here at Talladega. Appreciate your time.
Take care, boys. Thank you so much.
Well, it was eventful here, Connor, but we still have more weeks of racing. Plenty left to be done. Final thoughts here from Talladega before we go on to our next Challenger Series event.
I think a lot of people will tell you they don't care that much about sim racing. That could tell you to shove it. You don't think he cares? I didn't expect to get emotional, but man, you could tell how much he cares about this. That was awesome. An awesome interview to hear. He deserved it. He drove a great race. He came so close at Atlanta too. If you remember, he was 1 spot short to Chambliss. He deserved it. I'm so happy for him. But what a race. What an interesting race. Only the 1 yellow. Some questionable pit road accidents for sure, but just what a race. Everyone doing a great job keeping it clean, keeping it calm because they had to save the fuel. And just so much good action at the end there. We had some lap traffic kind of mixing it up, but it still provided a very wild finish where Donald Kite was able to come out on top and become, like I said, and I did fact check, the 21st different winner in Saturday Night Race League Cup Series history. And he joins a long list of drivers with 1 career victory, like Hutton, Hatchell, Alex Bell, Ortega, and many, many others. Maybe the first of many. And on top of that, what a great points day. That's going to tremendously help him in the points. Gained a big chunk on Bailey Turner, who wasn't here. He's definitely got to be second in the points. Who knows? Maybe a title threat is on tap for the 26.
Well, we're currently looking at Sonoma, and we should be looking at this racetrack because this is what's up next week. March 29th at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to Legacy, Kentucky Speedway for our 8th week of the season. Saturday Night Racing League. The Cup Series will be at the new configuration for Kentucky, the new pavement, the new scan, but this will be the old version for the Challenger Series. You can catch that again here on VSPEED. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and you'll never miss a single race. We'll have coverage all season long here on VSPEED. But for everybody that helped put this on, Connor Horn doing a fantastic job all season. Past 3 seasons, now going on to season 4 in the Cup Series. He's been with me the whole time. Adam Baker and Eddie Smith, everybody in the background. Then your league admins with Jeff Wright and Jack Klinger, a few others. I'm sure I'm missing the list of names. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Talladega. We'll see you in 1 week's time here on VSPEED. Until then, stay tracking, everybody.